Okay, so this part 2 is learning to focus, but I just want to talk about a couple other things before we get into learning to focus. Okay, this is a DSLR camera, and it's a DSLR for a lot of reasons. The D stands for digital, the SLR stands for single lens reflex. Okay, it's a particular type or style of camera in terms of how it works technically and optically. Basically, you look through the viewfinder and what you see is what you get. You're looking through the lens. And it's made it a very popular camera for, well over half a century, going on probably about a century. So it is a DSLR camera. And a couple other things before we get into learning to focus. Okay, I just want to go over the battery one more time so you can see better. Okay, so when you flip it, the battery door is on the bottom. Okay, you've got to pull down the lever, okay, and you've got to insert the battery. Okay, you can see the Canon, and this is a Canon. This is a Canon Rebel T7. It's a low-end model, but it gets the job done. It's a good learning camera for beginners and for, a school environment. Okay, so you just slip it inside the compartment, battery compartment. Okay, the lever clicks, and then you shut the door. Okay, just as a reminder. Battery door is on the bottom, and then the on and off switch is right here. That's your on and off switch. It's kind of like a little bit of a lever. And I'm looking now at the screen and I'm wondering if I could have inverted the screen. Probably. I'll know that for next time. Okay, but that's how you turn it on. And then a couple of things about it. The DSLR, okay, these are semi-automatic and semi-manual, okay? It can either be fully automatic or fully manual or semi. So it allows you to focus automatically or you can focus manually, okay? We're gonna do focusing in just a second, okay? If you want to focus manually or automatic, you have to make sure it's right here, that AF or MF. Okay, the AF stands for autofocus, the MF stands for manual focus. Okay, if you are autofocusing, you have to make sure you are on the AF. If you're trying to manual focus, that means you're doing it by hand. If you are manually focusing, you're doing it by hand. Some people like it better because they have a hard time doing the autofocus. We're going to be going over how to do the autofocus today. You've got to decide which type of focusing you like better. But if you are trying to manually focus it and it's not working and not moving, it means you're probably on the autofocus setting. Okay, so you've just got to check and then move it over to the focused type that you want. Just click the switch back and forth, okay? Sometimes kids will get it and it's set on manual focus and they're trying to autofocus. They're like, it's not working. Okay, check the switch, okay? But please don't force it on manual focus if it's not moving, okay? It means come and see me, okay? Because you can break the camera. You don't want to do that. These are worth close to $500, okay? And I don't want to have to bill you for it, okay? It means you won't graduate until you pay off that fee, okay? So you are responsible. Treat it like it's a baby. Treat it like it's your cell phone and you don't want to drop it, okay? You don't just give it to anybody. Okay, so you just check the switch to make sure if you're on manual or autofocus. And, okay, so with the autofocus, there are two things going on, or with the manual focus, there are two things going on. You have a focal length ring where you can change your focal length, okay? Meaning you can kind of zoom in and zoom out. It's a magnification. It's like maybe like a 10 times magnification, okay? So basically you can be further away from your subject and kind of zoom in on it, and it seems like you're really closer to the subject and you'll see more of the subject, okay? So that's that, thicker focusing. It's not a focusing ring, but it's actually the focal length, okay? You can adjust the focal length. And it has a wide angle focal length at 18 millimeters and a narrower one at 55, okay? So it's actually a variable focal length. It's not fixed, okay? And it's from 18 to 55. Okay, so that's the focal length ring. And then you have, this is where you would manually focus, this outer ring right here. Some kids like using this because it's easier and it's a little bit faster, okay? These focus rather slow, they do, and I can talk to you about that later in class. I was playing around with a couple of different cameras over the summer and their focus was so quick and I was like, God, yeah. Focus speed, lens speed really does matter. These are slower, again, because they are lower end models or cameras. Okay, so yeah, this is for focusing here if you're doing it manually. If you are on the autofocus, this won't move at all, okay? So don't force it. It means that you're on autofocus.